scroll back because she's alluring. Her energy like kind of drew me back in.
Yes, welcome to the Rahu Experience. Everything she described is basically a description of Maya or Rahu. And I looked up this woman's chart and she is a Gemini moon. And more than likely, she's a Gemini moon in the nakshatra of Ardra, which is ruled by Rahu. But she also has Mars in her second house of the face, and it's in Cancer in the nakshatra of Auslesha. She has two very alluring nakshatras in her chart. Ardra is ruled by Rahu. Rahu is what? Like the north node. It's Maya, meaning illusions, delusions. So when we talk about the north node in the birth chart, oftentimes you'll hear people say, wherever your north node is the area of life you're supposed to go towards. Because your south node is your past. It's something you've already achieved, you're comfortable with doing. But your north node is what's unfamiliar to you. It's so far out of reach. So how does that play out on somebody's appearance? It gives the same thing. It gives illusion, delusion. And some people even say like they have like a sinister look because it's so far out of reach. It's so beyond this world. So that's why oftentimes people will be scared when they see people like this. But you'll also notice this from people who are K2 dominant. So since we're focusing on Rahu, I'll talk about those. So if you're someone who has the zodiac sign Libra in your chart, you'd have to check your sidereal birth chart. And it's in the nakshatra of Swati. And if it's in the second house or your ascendant or it's like your highest degree planet, you'll notice you may carry these features. Or just energetically, people will feel that from you, that intensity, that alluring energy. So that's Swati and Libra. The next one would be Ardra and Gemini. And the last one is Shatabasha in the zodiac sign of Aquarius. So those are all ruled by Rahu. So people who have that may have this alluring appearance. Maybe it usually comes off through the eyes. That's where you'll see it most. So usually through the eyes, they'll have this intensity. Like sometimes they have just like this stare. Like when you see the video, if you watch that stitch, you'll see her eyes. That's what Rahu dominant people can kind of look. That's how they can look, or that's how people will feel about them. Kind of like that intensity, that unfamiliarity. It'll make people feel uncomfortable, not even just from the face, but again, just energetically. But interestingly enough, if you watch the entire stitch, you'll see that the interviewer is asking her about the many times she's been interrogated over someone's death. Interesting. And one of the murders they were questioning her about had to do with her ex-boyfriend's girlfriend who was found buried in his backyard. Obviously, I'm not accusing her of anything, and I don't want people to think if that because they have this placement in their chart that this is them. But just knowing about the nakshatra of Ardra, this is a very destructive nakshatra, and it's symbolized by the teardrop, which usually means they do deal with heartbreak, and they don't know how to handle heartbreak. For her in particular, her moon is her Dharaka, it's her lowest degree planet, which means in relationships, she does seek emotional security because she didn't get that as a child, more than likely from her mother. So because of this, because of how intense this nakshatra is, some people don't know how to deal with heartbreak or don't know how to deal with their emotions. And not only that, she has Mars debilitated in Cancer in the nakshatra of Auslesha. So there's a lot of things there that's like, okay, I could see it. You know, I'm not accusing her, but yeah, it can. Some people who have Ardra in their birth chart, usually with their Venus, their moon, or if it's like their lowest degree planet, when it comes to love, sometimes they don't know how to handle it. And so they usually self-sabotage it, or they just don't know how to deal with the heartbreak in an appropriate way. I'm not saying that this would lead to someone killing someone. Other things have to be, looked at in the chart. But overall, that's the Rahu experience for you.